Each week, we review an issue facing faith in America. This week, we're focusing squarely on the Supreme Court nomination process. Amy Coney Barrett is a devout Catholic. She's set to face a tough grilling on her stances about her faith. But is that fair? Here, we're going to talk to our panel, Pastor Darrell Scott. He's the CEO of the National Diversity Coalition for Trump. And Thomas Jipping is the Deputy Director of the Edwin Meese III Center for Legal and Judicial Studies. So welcome. So I'll start with you, Pastor Scott, because obviously we understand intuitively that we live in a nation where people talk about freedom of religion, but that certainly has seemed to have morphed into freedom from Christianity. And so I think as we talk about this election in particular, and the scrutiny that President Trump has faced for his backing of the evangelical community, what do you see this translating to as it pertains to the Supreme Court nomination process?
Unless it's a radical extremist group dedicated to the overthrow of the U.S. government, no one's faith should exclude them from service on the Supreme Court, especially if it's a faith in a mainstream religion that has been a part of the fiber of America, been a part of American culture since our inception as a country. It seems to me as if the left wants the Supreme Court to be packed with atheists. They want to replace God with science. They want to replace creation with evolution. They want to relegate the Bible to nothing more than a book of myths and legends, and then mock anyone who expresses faith in the principal precepts and the histories contained in the Bible. They want to use that lack of God, because when you take away God, you take away that moral absolute. And without the presence of a moral absolute, now you can justify abortion and a number of other things that people are against in this country.
Obviously. And Thomas, I'll go to you because obviously we are a nation that firmly believes in the separation of church and state. But obviously at the same time, nowhere in the Constitution and in the founding papers of this nation does it say that we have to say that individuals who make these determinations should not be informed by their faith. So talk to us a little bit about that juxtaposition, that nuance, as we have people on the left who seem to think that any influence at all of faith, even though it says in God we trust on our money and in our founding papers, somehow is out of place.
Well, first we have to understand exactly what the phrase separation of church and state really means. And it really means that the institutions of government and the church should be separate, that one should not literally control the other. But it certainly does not mean that faith and religion should be excluded from public life, which is why Articles 6 of the Constitution actually prohibits a religious test for public office. I mean, it's right there in the Constitution. It's as if the Founding Fathers anticipated a controversy like we're talking about today. I looked up the definition of bigotry in the dictionary right before the interview today, and it really has to do with prejudice against someone because of their membership in a particular group. And, anyone who would say that Amy Coney Barrett should not be on the Supreme Court because she's a Roman Catholic, well, that's the classic definition of bigotry. And in addition, it suggests that anyone with a particular faith or a particular view or a particular opinion necessarily cannot be an impartial judge. I wouldn't say that about someone with liberal views any more than I would say that about conservative views. It has to do with the individual. And my understanding, and I've read quite a bit of what Judge Barrett has written as a scholar and as a judge, and listened to her testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee in 2017, I don't think anybody is more committed to excluding her personal views from her judging than she is. So to me, whatever her denominational affiliation might be, she's exactly the kind of judge that we need on the Supreme Court.